Tiger fans, it's time for the round 4 debrief. After a loss to the Brisbane Lions, Richmond went down 13-12-90 to Brisbane's 18-10 118 by 28 points at the MCG on Saturday. And look, it must be said that honourable losses is a phrase that often we don't like to throw around. We haven't in previous years. I think this game is one of those exceptions, and I think we might have to use this phrase a little bit during the year. 28 points to the reigning premiers. If we had have all been told that we'll only lose by that much at the start of the game, you would take that every day of the week. And first and foremost, I want to give full credit to Brisbane. They are a quality outfit, and whilst they maybe didn't play to their full potential later in the game, when they wanted to get the job done, they did what they had to do, and they looked amazing doing it. So I don't want to take away from them. But I think the real big highlight for us was the endeavour, the effort, the pressure, the attitude. You could see we were still in the game mentally for the full 4 quarters. And, you know, when we got to a stage in the third quarter where we were 51, 52 points down roughly. And I'm guessing a lot of us, I was included in this, I thought, shit, it's going to turn into another St Kilda game and it's going to blow out really, really quickly. And there was a little part of me that thought, I kind of don't blame him. You're up against the reigning premiers. It's a tough ask. But you know what? The young kids and the older guys as well, they dug deep, they grit their teeth, and they cracked in, and we ended up outscoring them 7-3, which I think is a fantastic effort. And look, I know a loss is a loss, and we're results-based and things like that. I get all of that. But when you're looking for small wins and small things that you can sort of latch onto and you can see bits of hope, I think that was a really big positive to come out of the game. I reckon we will walk away from this game learning more and getting more out of it than what Brisbane will. And I think that's a really good thing. And even the fact we scored 90 points. I mean, and if you had said at the start, we'll score 90 points against the reigning premiers and Tom Lynch will only kick 1 goal, you'd have to start wondering if that was a legit call or not. You'd be like, oh, probably not. And like we've mentioned before, when you look at our scores from last year, I think we only scored above 82 points once. So the fact that we've done that against a reigning premier with a less experienced side than what we would have had last year, I think is a really, really good sign of good learning, good progression, good understanding and execution of the game plan for larger chunks, all kind of bundled into one. So, look, well done. And we said this during the live call and on the fan cam as well, but I do want to give a mention to Adam Uze. You know, people are always very quick to clip the coach when things don't happen well or don't go their way, but I think we need to be equally as quick to praise a coach, especially Uze, when he put his hand up in the press conference for the St Kilda game and said he got one wrong by moving Blight from the back line to ruck and that it destabilised us, and it was pretty evident that we fell apart in that third quarter. To then adjust the following week, for Blight to then start on the bench or up forward, to come on and ruck so we leave the defence stable, and Blight can still do his thing. You know, credit to him. He learnt quickly from a mistake made. All the coaches collectively changed it up, and it paid off for us. I just wanted to give a shout out to Uze for that because, yeah, I think often, we're too quick to criticise, and I think it's only right that we praise when we see a positive change and a learning as well. On to some of the older guys who I want to also praise because, again, we were, we'll obviously call it as we see it if they put in a bad game like we maybe saw against St Kilda and Port Adelaide. But I really do think that Hopper and Taranto, despite attending almost every centre bounce, I'd still want to see it mixed up. But I really do think they put in a good performance, both of them. Jacob Hopper, 32 disposals, 5 marks, 4 tackles, 8 clearances, which was really good. Tim Taranto, 29 disposals, 2 marks, 5 tackles, 6 clearances, and a goal. And I think, truthfully, the goal was really well deserved, just from an effort perspective. You could see he was really busting his ass out there, as was Hopper. So yeah, I was really pumped for Taranto to get that goal. But they're the kind of disposal numbers we want to see from them. You want to see both of them. If they're going to play that many centre bounces, you want to start seeing, 29, 30 plus disposals on a frequent basis. That goal, though, from Taranto, it still makes me think there's an option to have him at half forward at various stages to use his goal sense. He's a very good goal kick and good, pretty creative down there. So why not use that to the best of our advantage? But yeah, good, very, very good from them. I won't go through all the plays because it was a pretty good team game as a whole. But a couple I do want to mention. Sam Lawler, my God. I think he again showed why he was the number 1 pick on the weekend. 24 disposals, 2 handballs, 4 tackles, 2 clearances, and 2 goals. Look, he had 8 kicks and 16 handballs, and it's no secret that I think we would all love to see him kick the ball a bit more because he's such a lethal kick. However, his handballs have been equally as dangerous. I mean, you see how well he frees up his teammates to get into space just by holding on for half a second. He's got great vision, even when in traffic or when being tackled. It's a really fine art that he's got, and yeah, he on top of that, his foot skills are just unbelievably good. I think there was one late in the game where he pulled a kick inside 50 that I think was meant for Blight on the lead, and it might have been Steely Green jumped in front and took the mark. But, if you're a forward and you've got Sammy Lawler running at you, you must be absolutely loving life. So well done to Lawler. Onwards and upwards. If we can see more games like that, we'll be laughing. Luke Traynor, 19 disposals, 4 marks, 2 tackles, 2 clearances. 2 clearances. There we go. I even sound surprised reading that myself. Interesting. As Uze said, he's bang on with this comment. He just, again, looks like an AFL player. Composed. He had a couple of scuffed kicks. I think one might have turned over to be a direct goal. But you know what? Shit happens, right? He's a young kid. Even our experienced guys do that, so who cares? As long as it's not every kick that's happening, which it wasn't, because after that, he could have quite easily dropped his head and got into a bit of a slump and been pretty hard on himself. But he picked himself up and still played out the game really, really well, attacked the contest, some really great spoils. Like we've said before, you just got to keep playing this kid. He looks super. Nate Curvis, I want to give a big shout out to as well. The Big O is a bloody tough ruckman to go up against. He's one of the better ones out there. But Nate had his fair share, 15 disposals, 2 marks, 2 tackles, 41 hit-outs, which was pretty impressive, and 2 clearances. I think we said this on the fan cam, but Nank's he's really proved me wrong and probably a lot of others as well in terms of our thoughts on the captaincy. He's definitely sort of eradicated all those silly free kicks, which drove everyone a little bit nuts in the first couple of years of his captaincy reign. And he is such a warrior and a warhorse. And yeah, I think it's no doubt or no surprise as to why he was elected captain now. When you see the body of work he's putting in, you can't help but respect the guy. Seth Campbell, what a player we've got here. I was actually talking about him today to Chris Herbert, a good mate of mine. And he made a good point that at the end of last year, if you look at Seth Campbell, you probably didn't think there was going to be a big jump in development or he's going to take these massive step forwards and be a key player. But he has. He absolutely has. 15 disposals, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, but 2 goals. It's his speed, it's his goal sense, it's his pressure. Like the fact he's able to back himself to cut across a couple of Lions players who are hot on his heels get a goal or pass the ball inside 50. He's going to another level. So really, really pleased for Seth Campbell, and hopefully that keeps carrying on. Tom Brown, look, 12 disposals, 4 marks, 1 tackle. I was a little bit disappointed that he gave away that stupid free kick early on that gave them an easy shot at goal from about 35 metres. We're struggling as it is, right? We're going to be on the bad end of games more often than not. We don't need to be gifting opposition easy goals unnecessarily. He'll learn from that. He'll absolutely learn from that. But yeah, again, he's another player. He only had 101 30 metres gained as well. That I would love to see that more around the 200s and 300 areas or higher, just because of the weapon of a boot that he's got. But he'll learn and he'll get better. Ben Miller, the rock down back. I know people probably in pre-season were a bit divided on him. I don't think you can have a bad word to say about Miller in the last few weeks, to be honest. He's been an absolute rock for us down in defence. 10 disposals, 9 marks, 4 tackles, and I think he actually went at 100% efficiency. And, honestly, if it wasn't for him, some of these margins could have been a lot worse. The way he reads the ball going back with the flight of it to get a timely spoil in, he covers for his teammates really, really well. And I think if you're a defender in our system, you would love having Miller by your side, knowing that he's going to help protect and help cover, come across and go third man up and do all those small things that really count. So another really nice game from Ben Miller. Super happy for him. Harry Armstrong. Wow, definitely a tale of two halves for him, wasn't it? The first half probably was a little bit unsided. I don't think that's being too harsh. But again, similar to the trainer, Harry could have obviously dropped his head and just gone through the motions and got through the game, given that, we're behind on the scoreboard. He wasn't getting many touches. But to have that impact in the last half, especially the last quarter, kicking those 2 goals, could have quite easily had 3. He probably will be disappointed he missed that other one. But yeah, to finish with 2 goals, 6 marks, 2 tackles that got a nice little holding the ball on Harris Andrews as well. Not totally sure if it was there, but we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. But what impressed me with Harry was his work rate throughout the whole 4 quarters. Even though he wasn't getting all the marks and kicks early days, he was still prepared to work hard. He was chasing hard. He was trying to crash packs, and you got to respect it. And I'm so glad he got a couple of goals because that's just good reward for effort. And I think he will keep seeing that happen as the weeks go on. But he showed some really good signs again. I think he's going to be a player for the future, no doubt. The final one I want to touch on quickly, Jacob Blight. Again, I mean, this guy, you got to remember, he's played like 7 or 8 games. Mostly and drafted and played as a defender first and foremost, which he was doing fairly well at. To then have to sort of learn on the fly quickly to play forward and then to play ruck, then to play a mixture of both. It can't be easy, and you've got to just give full credit to him for being open to doing this and for taking it all on board, taking it in his stride, and just having an absolute crack at it. So he had the 10 disposals, 5 marks, 1 hit out, kicked a goal. He just looked really good up forward though, didn't he? For someone who's so raw and so new to it, I love how he runs and jumps at the ball with authority. Like, if he's going for it, he's going for it. And he might have dropped a couple, but a lot was sticking as well. And he obviously got that goal to reward himself for some good effort too. I think there's a permanent spot for him up forward. We've obviously got Bolter coming back soon. Gibkiss at some point will come back as well. And Miller's not going anywhere anytime soon. So Blight may have reinvented himself in 7 games as a forward, just through necessity from the team structural perspective. And I think it could work. I actually think he might complement Lynch really well because Blight's a lot more mobile. He's got a bit more pace about himself. If the ball hits the deck, we saw how clean he was with one touch pickups and giving off the handball to then generate another inside 50. So he actually does read the ball quite well in the air and at ground level. So not against him spending some more time up forward. Which has been pretty impressive, it must be said. Looking at some of the team-related stats, our efficiency inside 50 was 57.5, which is about 7 or 8% up on what our average is, so that was a really good sign. We actually were getting a lot of scoring chances with our inside 50, so it was pretty good on a conversion front. Disposal efficiency for the game, 72%. Hit-outs, lost the hit-outs. Clearances, we got done there. That was probably a part of our game that was a little bit disappointing. Lockie Neal in particular, I think he had 42 touches, just got off the chain quite substantially. The Lions midfield bat's pretty deep though. You got McCluggage, Berry, Lockie Neal, the Ashcrofts who were just ridiculously good. So it's no wonder that it kind of happened at some point. I just feel like we need to keep working on that outside spread that teams get us on. It's like they almost sit back half a step, let us go in there and get the contested ball. They might send minimal numbers in, and then they've got numbers on the outside ready to go. We kind of all just get sucked into the contest. That's a learning and a development thing. A lot of the young kids still trying to learn how to hold structure and things like that. You kind of want to see the older guys, though, directing that while on the field. But, look, we probably won our fair share of clearances around the ground. Stoppage clearances, 27-30. But centre clearances, we got smoked 8-17, and you can't afford to give up those type of numbers to a team like the Lions. But like I said, they're a well-oiled outfit, and it's going to be a huge learning for us. Marks, we took 93 marks and 15 marks inside 50, which was really pleasing. We actually outmarked them inside 50, which goes to show that when we lower our eyes, we're a much better chance to kick a score. I think it's too easy for opposition to double-team Tom Lynch now. So to lower our eyes and hit up Jacob Blight, to hit up Harry Armstrong or Bauer, whoever's there, it makes it a bit more unpredictable and it makes defenders accountable. So to get 15 marks inside 50, really, really good. And tackles, 53 tackles, but only 2 inside 50. So the 2 inside 50 is a bit of a downer. While Brisbane Lions, on the other hand, had 73 tackles 73 tackles and 13 inside 50, which is really, really good numbers. Kind of where I'd love for us to be aiming at. But I suppose you can't get everything all at once, can you? But that's the debrief. That is the debrief for the Brisbane Lions game. A very honourable loss. Never nice not to get the 4 points, but geez, you couldn't walk away too disappointed with what you saw. And ultimately, it's a loss, but we're still above Carlton, we're still above Melbourne, still above West Coast. And look, our time might run out in that space, but let's make the most of it while we can. It just makes that Carlton win earlier in the year all the more important and special. So Let us know what you think about the game in the comments below. Who would you have given votes to? A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And make sure you like and subscribe for more Richmond content. And I'll see you for the next one. Go Tigers.